Like many of my fellow South Africans, I'm simultaneously relieved and apprehensive about my decision by the ANC National Executive Committee Legotla this week to encourage President Cyril Ramaphosa to declare a national state of disaster in response to the electricity crisis. Relieved in what the governing party appears to have finally admitted that they have broken Eskom and that they need to fix it and bring more electricity suppliers into the grid or they are gone next year. Apprehensive mainly because of the memory of what the ANC in government and their friends in the business community did to us the last time a disaster was declared and cooperative governance and traditional affairs Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma was given the keys to the country. It's hard to trust those who lead us not to raid the till if Ramaphosa does not declare a state of disaster and normal tender of procurement procedures are set aside to speed up the refurbishment of Eskom. After what happened to the emergency funding while we are all locked down during COVID-19, it's difficult not to anticipate some electoral vibes drama a little further up on the road. One hopes at least that the Auditor General's Office and the Special Investigating Unit will be empowered to do live audits as transactions are being carried out, so there is no nail salons being brought with card boxes of money looted from funds diverted from elsewhere to fix Eskom. Things get crazy if Dlamini Zuma is let loose in the citizenry, in particular those among us who drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes. A second unwarranted and undeserved lesson as to what would have happened if Ramaphosa hadn't won at either of the last two ANC conferences. Another cigarette ban is definitely loading. There is clearly no way that banning smoking will assist the national effort to deal with load shedding, but there is still no evidence that it helped fight the spread of COVID-19 either. So the absence of reason is no reason for the minister not to act unreasonably. Dlamini Zuma is still fighting in court not to provide the opposition with records justifying the decisions she took in 2020 and 2021, so it's pretty clear that logic and legality were not necessarily involved in her decision making back when the COVID-19 made her queen. Perhaps Dlamini Zuma will go the whole hog again and smash us with a mask decree and a beach ban to help keep the lights on. Logical, no, but again, that's never really been an issue. Becky Ellis Mob must be gagging for a lockdown 2.0, having tested the power last time around. Don't discount having your door kicked in for having the lights on at 2 a.m., your head broken by the Public Order Policing Unit for keeping the geyser on overnight once the forces of evil and reaction get going. Good times are coming. The Democratic Alliance headed off to London to discuss a plan by South African Tourism Minister Lindiwe Sisulu to give R1 billion to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in return for advertising space on their March trip. For once, South Africa is supporting the DA, but in spirit, not body. There is no way I would set foot in Tottenham Stadium except as part of the Red and White Army camped in the away end as he heads off to defend the public purse. It's not just the plan is a waste of money. R1 billion to a team who haven't won the league since 1961 and who have a global audience of 17, 5 of whom live in Durban does not sound too legit, especially when contracts and ministerial terms are reportedly about to end. The average tea bag lasts longer in a cup, domestic and European, than Tottenham, so it's pretty hard to imagine any real return on investment being generated by bettors watching cup tournaments on TV and being so inspired by losing their performance that they decide to pop over to Sun South Africa to holiday either. The money can be better spent on any team with actual supporters who might come to our fine republic with their pounds rather than Tottenham's non-existent international following. To borrow the first English words spoken by former Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira, Tottenham are shit, but there's no way we should be coughing up more than a third of our international advertising budget on them.